I messed up. Last week we covered the fast aerial and I missed one key point. And even though I did it on a few of my examples instinctively, I want to just shout out Seb for pointing this one out. So I'm going to cover this secret right now, how to get faster in everything you do. Hold accelerate. And you're thinking, well, obviously. But I mean, even when you're in the air. You see, this game has some weird mechanics. And one of them is that when you hold accelerate, your car is slightly pushed in the direction it is facing. So for example, if I jump near this line, nothing happens. I go up and I come straight down. However, if I jump, then hold accelerate, and then let go right before I hit the ground, I move past the line. Now, does this mean you can literally lean back and hold accelerate and fly forever? No, because gravitational force is much stronger. However, what it can do is give you a little bit more hang time. So that slight adjustment for fast aerials, when you lean back, hold accelerate for a fraction more speed. Alright, now that's covered, let's get on to everyone's favorite, the air dribble from the wall. And boy, oh boy, is this a loaded subject. The first being, when do we learn air dribbles from the wall? And the answer is, whenever you want. Now, let me add more to that. If you are golden under, even platinum under, even diamond and under, hell, even GC and under, right now, you don't need to air dribble to compete. You really don't. You really don't. Especially in ones. However, if you get really good at air dribbles, as long as you have your fundamentals down, then they allow huge setups. And quite frankly, the game has evolved so much in a short space of time that within the next 6 months, if you cannot air dribble, flip, reset, double touch, and have total control of your car, you're really going to struggle in the ranks of GC because you won't have pop-off potential, as Raid calls it. That being said, nothing infuriates me more than seeing people in plat and below just throwing away possession because they're trying to do a move that they cannot do and having a slow recovery and leaving their teammate to defend a 2-on-1. Like any move, get good at it in practice first. If it is not game ready, do not use it. Personally, if I was setting up a blueprint, I would do ground moves and basic air roll shots till high gold. Then add a little bit of basic air control and fast aerials through plat. And then in diamond start carving in the air dribbles, but everyone is different. I mean, that is a huge subject and it would actually be cool to get a roundtable on that. But anyway, let's get back to air dribbles from the wall. When/why would you use an air dribble from the wall? Well, when you have a fairly controlled ball rolling up the wall and you can get to it, or if you can set up a rolling ball to the wall, then you can go for an air dribble, and you should probably go for an air dribble if you can do it. Because here's the thing, in the future, and from what we're seeing right now, if you are good enough, if you are consistent enough, then you could use air dribbles every single time. Because the reason for this is you get options, lots of options. Now, that being said, obviously, like anything, if you do it over and over again, guess what? As soon as you're starting to push it up the wall, they're going to challenge, they're going to dive on the ball. This is why we need everything. You know, we cannot be a one-trick pony anymore. The game's evolved too much. You got to learn everything. Another popular way of when to do an air dribble is when you get possession in your defense and you can roll the ball near the corner boost, grab the corner boost, then you can do a full map air dribble. And this can lead to so many opportunities to put pressure on the opponents, and it's really difficult for the defender to defend this because they're low on boost, they're scrambling back, they're constantly having to check behind them, and you can make this really awkward. Let's get into the fun stuff. How do we air dribble? Let's break it down into stages. Stage 1, the initiation. The initiation is really important as it will lead to a much easier start for the air dribble. So how do we initiate the air dribble? The first thing is to get the ball to stick to the wall. How do we do this? We need the ball to roll at a decent speed across the floor. To do this, we can either slowly ramp up our speed against the ball and dribble it up, or we can jump and hit the ball just above the vertical center to keep it grounded. From there, once the ball is rolling against the wall, we need to create a gap between ourselves and the ball, and this can be done by just tapping brakes slightly, and we're aiming for 1 to 2 car gaps. With practice, with different speeds, you'll see that you'll need different gaps. The setup. The setup is by far the most important part of the air dribble. Even top level players, if they don't get the setup right, they are really fine to get the ball under control. If you master the setup, the air dribble will be easy and it will all just click into place for you. Once we have the gap and the ball is rolling up the wall, then we are looking to hit the ball smack bang with the middle of our nose. Not the corners, right smack bang in the middle. Another key point to this is that we want to be going in the general direction of the goal. This will make our job much easier. Therefore, if you are coming from a bigger distance, you want to hit it more forward. And if you are closer, you need to hit it with a bit more lift. So, for example, if we're in our half, we're looking to hit the ball at around 8 o'clock, if you were to look from the side. And if you're in the middle, you want to be at about 7 o'clock. And from the opponent's half, just past 6 o'clock. So how do we actually hit the ball? Well, once we create the gap and the ball is on the wall, we want to speed up to it and give it a nice little jab to create a nice lift off from the wall. And we can use the boost to speed up to the ball, but we don't want to smash it too hard off the wall. Think like a nice snap on a jab. From there, that leads us on to the next stage, the first touch. Once the ball is coming off the wall, we want to wait for a fraction of a second so we can see where the ball is heading and allow ourselves a decent first touch. So hopefully from the basic air control video, you've set up some directional air roll binds to make life a little bit easier. So if we hit the ball off the left wall, we can use the left air roll for a fast turn in field, and then obviously if we're off the right wall, we can use the right air roll. Our goal is to jump off the wall whilst using the air roll to turn the car to face the ball. And then we feather our boost to get over towards the ball. The goal here on this first touch is to hit the bottom portion of the ball. Again, really important, with the center of the car's nose. And when we initiate that very first touch, we either want to do it with no boost, or if we are using boost, very little momentum, so that we don't blast the ball away. People often refer to this as matching the speed of the ball. The last stage is the air dribble. Now we actually get to the fun part of the air dribble, and it's funny to me that the air dribble is actually the smallest portion of this whole video, just proving how important setting it up really is. From here, we want to continue to feather the boost and try to use the car to control the ball where we want it. Once we have control of the ball, we can be a little bit more liberal with the boost. And it's not uncommon to see people get a soft first touch and then just continue to use their boost all the way through the movement, but you don't have to do it that way. The main goal is, if you want to keep it high, try and get underneath it, and if you want to accelerate it, try and get more behind it. Alright, here we go, the yellow belt training pack. And remember guys, for the belt you need to do them without any reset. That's how you get the belt. And here it is, the first one. It's all about the middle of the nose, right smack bang between the headlights. If you can hit it between the headlights, you'll get a real easy first touch. You get a nice setup there. Now this one, I didn't hit it perfect. You see how I hit the corner twice? Harder to get to. It goes away from me because the corner, as we learned from when we were doing air roll shots, that's where your power is, man. So by hitting it with the corner on the first touch there, made it go away. But this looks good. Right in the middle. And I can just guide it down then. That one I didn't need to keep lifting it up, so I went behind the ball because I needed more of a push. This one, I need to get more underneath, so I'm trying to get under it to give it more lift. And that's going to be part of it. You're going to have to adapt all the time. Every single air dribble will be unique. Very slightly, but it will be unique. It's all about a nice soft first touch coming out. There it is, the first touch right there, nice and soft, and then it allows us to take the ball where we want it. So we push it off right in between the headlights, give it a little jab there. We come off the wall. And we soft touch it. That's the secret. Boom, come off the wall. We go up to it. We're looking for a soft touch on the first one. Boom, there's a soft touch. And that allows us to carry on getting under the ball. Now the first couple I did without any air rolling. I'm going to start adding air rolls in now myself, just because that's something I want to work on. You don't have to. Especially not necessarily straight away. You know, this after all is the basics. So just getting it done. But if you can do it, and you feel confident, give it a bash. Give it a bash because it will help you in the future. And some of the air dribbles won't have a lot of touches, and some air dribbles will have a lot of touches. But the main thing is getting that confidence in the air, getting behind the hitbox when needed. Right smack bang in the headlights. There it is again. That's a good setup. Right smack bang in the headlights. This should be a good one. Nice, right smack. Oh yeah, that's, see, when you get the headlights, it makes everything so easy. And there it is, guys. The last shot. Right smack bang in the headlights. That's what we're all about. Feathering the boost as we go. Get yourself 100% just like that. Put a picture of it in the Discord and you will get the yellow belt. Thank you everyone for watching. Hope you enjoyed that episode. As always, have a nice life. Look after yourself. and peace. Peace.